Hi, hello, and welcome back to Repatriation Simulator, also known as Hardspace Shipbreaker. It's been some time since the last episode, but hey, we're still sticking with it. I've just been incredibly busy with work and all those other things that life includes, like getting groceries, or going out on a date, or anything really. And school, of course. So, you know, all the things that add up in a person's life. And also trying to install Gran Turismo 7. Oh my god. Okay, we're going to talk about something completely off topic. And goodbye to everyone watching this video already. Because instead of it being a productive day, where I'm going to be ripping apart a ship as I'm talking, but oh my god, it's going to be mostly me complaining about PlayStation 5 and installing Gran Turismo 7. So let me just tell you, when trying to install Gran Turismo 7 with a disc, it is the worst experience I have ever experienced. Gone are the days where you put the disc inside the console and the console play. No! We do not get that anymore. I'm just going to check to see if we can upgrade anything at all. Can we upgrade anything? Are you going to let me upgrade it? Nope. Okay. Anyway, we're going to rip apart a ship. Yes, gone are the days of being actually able to install video games via the disc, or even just play video games via the disc. I knew you were going to have to install it. Oh god, we have a training video. Okay, we'll do the training video. Then the complaints will continue. I swear it'll happen. Let us begin. Goddamn training. I just want to complain to my viewers.
I remember my first reactor pull. I was shaking like a leaf. You got less on the line now, but still, let's try to do this without a critical meltdown. That looks like the reactor toward the rear of the ship, but there are lots of different configurations out there in the wild. Okay, we're only focused on one thing right now. Pull the reactor and get it on the barge. As soon as you disconnect the reactor from the ship, it'll start to melt down. So act fast and make sure you have an exit strategy ahead of time.
Alright, so it does look like we still make money, potentially, off of this. So we're going to still focus on the main do's and don'ts of actually ripping and tearing. So while I'm going to start complaining about Gran Turismo 7 and Sony being a bunch of dummies, you've seen this all before. You've seen me rip and tear pretty much everything. Pretty much all the things. And I really dislike attaching things together. I'll tell you that right now. I hate attaching things together in this game because for some reason the tethers love to disable themselves. And I'm not sure if they've upgraded it or changed it anytime recently, but you've seen it in previous episodes where the tethers will turn red. And when the tethers turn red, that means they are bound to get disabled. It's like an automatic safety feature or something along those lines. And of course, we're a bit unfortunate and our tethers are already gone. We're going to need tethers for the sake of actually doing this reactor grab. Oh, my brains! I broke my own brains, dude. Alright, also, this HUD is... They didn't update the HUD, but I think they updated the game recently, but this might just be specifically to this tutorial. Let's just go ahead. Yeah, they've just disabled some of my HUD elements, which is not the best, but that's okay. Let's use a repair kit. We only have infinite money. If you really think about it, having this much debt doesn't matter at the end of the day. You can go up in debt, you can go down in debt. It's really, it's not the worst thing in the world to happen to our character, right? I mean, he's been killed multiple times by this lovely corporation. So let's not worry about it too much. This one I'm just going to try and save a tether here. I think the internals of the vehicle are already set up and good to go. So I think I shouldn't have to worry about pressurization. So anyway, let me talk about Gran Turismo 7. Don't buy the disc version, or at least if you do buy the disc version, please, please, please do the smart thing. Disable your PlayStation 5 from the internet, because believe it or not, the console will default to actually using your internet to install the game. And regardless of your internet speed, it's going to check the disk and see if it has the same information on the disk as it's downloading on the internet, taking twice as long, 3 times as long, 4 times as long to check. And I don't know why, man. It was driving me nuts. And of course, it tells you, oh, I'm just using the internet to download the rest of the data for your disk. And so everyone knows you can download games if your console's in rested mode. Same as updates and all this other stuff. That's why rested mode's so great. What a great power saving option. Am I right? But no, you have to leave it on. And of course, the console is set up to turn on with your TV. So if you turn on the console, it turns on the TV. So I disable that feature. And I leave the console on. And recently I had to factory reset the console because I had Uncharted 4 in there. And I upgraded it to the PS5 Uncharted 4, which means you need the disc in, and I'm dumb, and I left the game running for 2 weeks. There was a power outage, and the console turned off. So I was losing my mind. Console stopped working. And so I have the factory reset it, so all the power saving modes are still on, but I never disabled them, right? So, and then, so the console turns off after an hour, and I come back 3 hours later because this wait time for the Gran Turismo 7 install is like, say, you gotta wait 4 hours to come back 3 hours later, checking on the install. Maybe it's a little faster. Maybe it picked up some speed. I don't know. It's always worth checking. Jesus Christ, I almost blew up the ship there. That would have been really bad. Anyway, I don't know, man. Sometimes you just gotta check this stuff. And then, sure enough, complete waste of time. The console has gone into automatic rested mode, and I'm just like, why you do this? I just want to play some Grand Theft Auto, GT7, Grand Theft 7, Gran Turismo 7. That's all I want in my life right now. And you can't give me that, man. I can't believe it. I can't believe you've done this, man. But now it's installing and taking forever, but I've gone past the point of no return. The recommended action is to disable the Wi-Fi to your PS5. Originally, I had it hardwired, but I don't have the console plugged in up here in my recording studio, also known as my bedroom. So it's in the basement with the nice new TV, the 4K TV, because, you know, it's a PlayStation 5. You want to make it look nice when you're not recording. As opposed to, you know, don't make anything look good when you do record, though. That would be a major mistake. And yeah, so, of course, I'm just like, I'm already past the point of no return. But really, you're supposed to essentially turn off the Wi-Fi on your PlayStation, disable all internet features or possibilities there. And then, and only then, live the dream of actually installing through the disc. Instead of the console just installing with a... I mean, why can't things be easy, man? Why can't we live in a world where things just work like they used to? I don't mean to be the uncle, the old man, you know. They don't make them like they used to, man. Like, why don't they make them like they used to? It's like, well, because technology's changed and the world is going into a, well, you know, you would assume a better place. Like, you know, technology has improved, but you think we would be able to figure out how to use a disc inside of a console and not have it be a complete disaster. But, you know, to each their own, I guess. Let's not, you know, make the disc-based PlayStation 5 do what disc-based things do and, you know, read the disc. No, just have the disc be in there and lock you out of the game if you don't have the disc anymore. It's like, Jesus, man, they might as well just make the disc melt into the console and then say it's a digital freaking piece of content at this point. Which technically that's what game discs have become, but I'm just losing my mind, man. I'm just losing my mind. That's all it is. Anyway, we're pretty much just ripping and tearing the ship apart. Normally, if you were past me, you would only go for the reactor, because the reactor is worth so much. But I kind of just love the idea of ripping and tearing early on, and I want to get the top of the ship kind of displaced here, because it's a lot easier to shove the stuff down below. And I don't think we have a timer, so we have like a huge bonus here, just by happenstance. What? I'm sorry, what? Oh my god, did I put in the wrong thing again? That's what I get. That's what I get. That's what I get, dude. Alright, $63,000 lost. But also $63,000 learned. Feels good, man. Feels good. Alright. We can get rid of this next roof piece as well. He says, very carefully.
This one's pretty easy. Should just slide out of her coolant casing with a good yank from your grapple. Try to have your
Oh, this is one of the nice reactors, eh?
from the ship.
I don't even have to, like, do much here. Okay, if we can flip and dip and dive and dodge this thing, we can actually just yank it straight into the barge, if we're careful. What a nice little reactor. Now, I wouldn't recommend touching it. You can see my UI is just glitching to all shit, and that's because of the, of course, radioactive nature of nuclear technology. But very powerful, very clean, very delightful, very delicious. All right, so all we're gonna do... Well, actually, yeah, you know what? I don't think it matters. Just do that. There you go, and yank that boy right in there.
Well,
Big thumbs up.
you're certainly picking this up faster than I did back in the day. Okay, I'll leave you to it until you get to the next rank.
I'm not sure how much that reactor was worth, but it seems like not as much as what I remember. But also, I was extracting reactor level 2s, which were worth like $1 million. And, you know, $1 million ain't nothing to scoff at. It's a pretty clean way to get a lot of money very quickly, especially a lot of certs. But now, certs have changed. And also, our 15-minute timer has now started, which isn't too shabby, if you ask me. Make sure we throw these parts in the right location. How much is that one going to be? Class 1 reactor plating is like 10,000 or something. So these are a bunch of medical kits. Now, I'm not sure if you actually can launch them into the barge. You can't launch them into the barge. Okay. So we don't even have to worry about them. Our suit is at 2 red, which I'm not too sure why that is. Oh, there we go. We can actually get rid of the thruster here. Take that out. This is actually a proper thruster. Cool. Thank goodness it's not attached to a fuel line. Yeah, fuel lines are actually a pain in the ass. I made a few videos on fuel lines, and I think they've been updated and changed and altered a bit to make their lives, or people's lives, a little bit more difficult than they used to be. There you go. Get that nice thruster in there. If you're wondering how I'm actually yanking it out without getting shoved back, what I'm doing there is I'm holding the brakes down. Also, 5 is my flashlight. There we go. Sorry to everyone that has their phones on half brightness and they're trying to watch. I know that feeling. I know that feeling, man. My phone's on half brightness. I can't see anything. How could you do this to me? I know. I can't see anything either. Sometimes I wonder if I have eyes. When doing any sort of recordings or anything like that, you know, you can play any game. Diablo. You can play a narrative game. You're gonna miss something, and you're bound to always miss it, and especially in a game like this, you're bound to always miss it. And it's just the nature of the commentation, you know, when you're not doing things nice and pretty in a post-commentary world, everything's live, everything always breaks and goes wrong and horribly awry, and it's the ability to move on and press forward and keep going and have that good hurrah, which I find to be the utmost fun part of playing games live instead of doing post-commentary, which I used to do for that of Halo Reach. I think back in the day I was playing Halo Reach, and every time I would record the gameplay first, and I would be like, oh, this is the best gameplay I've ever recorded, which was, you know, on easy difficulty, so let's just keep that in mind. The best difficulty of all time. Oh, is this like shielding? Okay, I don't even know what that's for, but okay. Or maybe that was fuel that I just picked up. Probably says it. Yeah, thruster fuel. Okay. Yeah, and then I would do a post-recording or something like that on a Rock Band microphone, or I forget if it had the Audio Technica back in the day. But you know, nowadays using the Shure SM7B has been pretty gnarly, pretty nice. I actually like it a lot. It's a very nice microphone. I remember debating between this Shure SM7B, which I think you see virtually everywhere on Twitch nowadays. I got it before the massive surge of the Shure SM7B, right? Now you even see the likes of Asmongold and things like that, or people like that, using the microphone because it's so popular. And it was originally used by, I think, Michael Jackson back in his recording studio, which is pretty cool. And it's like it's generally a microphone that's regarded to be really good for singing. Where the RE20, which you would think would be the go-to, like, this is the #1 microphone of all time, and you would see Total Biscuit back in the day actually using that microphone. It was really, really nice. Really, really nice sounding, and it sounded like a radio microphone. And it was a radio microphone. It was also twice as expensive, if not 3 times as expensive, depending on where you're located and where you're trying to purchase it. So me here in Canada, I'm pretty sure the microphone was either American or British because it was very expensive. Like, it was just prohibitively expensive. And really the only option for me when I was a teenager was that of the Audio-Technica. I think it was the 2020 at the time, but I could be wrong on the actual number system there. So at the end of the day, of course, you get the Audio-Technica, and it's a USB plugged-in microphone at the time for me because I didn't have a Scarlett 2i2, which, if you don't know what that is, it's basically a little interface you use to plug in your microphones, the things that allow you to speak with really high fidelity audio. So USB 2.0 back in the day, you know, really high quality vocal stuff. And to be fair, the technology of USBs going to 3.0 allows things like the Audio-Technica microphones to get better and better throughout the years. But, you know, back in the day, I didn't even know this because I didn't have the headphones that could reach that frequency. But there's actually a whine in the background noise of the Audio-Technica 2020 videos. Every time I go back, I can actually like hear the slight, very subtle whine of the of that USB plug going into the computer, which is so bizarre. It's not something I never thought I would notice, but it made me so happy to have gotten a new microphone that doesn't have that kind of defect there. I don't know if it's like a defect or if that's just, you know, I think that whine is from some degree. Oh shit, I broke the airlock, really? Is this the air? Oh no, this whole unit is the airlock. I never even thought that this would be. Oh, fascinating. Okay. Well, that's really cool. Also need some O2. I think we have some right here, though. One of my favorite things working on some of these ships is having all the extra O2 just on the ship for us to use. But yeah, anyway, sorry, I lost my train of thought there. But at the end of the day, it's so cool, so cool. Be able to look at all these things and look through the power of hindsight and to have all of this history of doing YouTube just for fun and having a good time. I think the worst part of when I was doing YouTube is when I was doing it because I was like, oh, I should turn this into a career. You know, I think that's probably the biggest misstep, and I'm sure a lot of people have always had that misstep one way or another when it comes to. I'm just going to destroy this thing. When it comes to going to YouTube, like there's always going to be that time in any YouTuber's life, right? You see some degree of success at some point in your career, if you want to call it a career or something like that, right? You see some degree of success, and then you start going, how do I turn this into money? Because you're like, well, I don't want to do a real job. Well, gross, you know? And then you're like, well, I can turn this into a real job. And then you start trying, and then you're like getting burned out very, very quickly because you are now turning something that was considered a very positive, relaxed environment into something that is straight up, I need to make money, otherwise I'm not going to be able to pay rent next month, right? So it kind of, you know, breaks you into that sort of sad state of affairs. So really, at the end of the day, you just kind of have to have fun with it, man. You have to have fun with it. And sure, you can absolutely turn these things into a career. And if that's your goal, if that's your life goal, do it, man. Do it. Go all in. But just know what you're getting yourself into, because it's just it's a difficult process, and it's something very different from just playing video games. And that's something that I stopped doing for a while, which was just play video games. Something I virtually didn't do for a very, very long time. I virtually did not play video games for my own enjoyment. Maybe very rarely, but it would always be, if I was playing a video game, it was because I wanted to get better at it before recording. Not because I wanted to enjoy it, you know? And it was kind of a bad experience overall. And I wouldn't recommend it. I wouldn't recommend it going down that route unless that's something that you feel like you're okay with sacrificing that enjoyment for the most part. Or if you can somehow get past that, then that's even better. But it's something I've definitely really improved on lately is just playing video games and having fun. And Gran Turismo 7 is prohibiting me from having that fun. That's all I wanted, man. I just want to play some Gran Turismo 7. Anyway, long story short, don't buy physical on PlayStation 5, I guess. Or at least that type of game. God damn, I need tatters. I need tatters. And long story short, don't buy Gran Turismo 7 for the PlayStation 5 as a disc. Download it with your internet. Plug the Ethernet cord into the thing. And then you'll have a good life. And then you know, all the other stuff. I mean, whatever. I mean, I did say, like, who knows what this series was going to be, but I need some way, some outlet, some podcast format for me to talk about random bullshit. I just need it, man. I need it. Also, wow. Okay, I have a pretty decent amount of range. I know at one point you can get enough range on this thing that'll, like, take you all the way to the ship from spawn. Which is a pretty good feeling. Am I gonna lose fuel here? Did we get it? We got it! Nice. Alright, let's get rid of these beamers. Not to be confused with the BMW, which you can play in Gran... Anyway. Don't worry about that. It's not... I'm over it. I'm over it. I'm good. I'm good, man. I just wanna... One thing I will say, though... This is a positive for having very important people in your life. For me, it's my significant other at the current time. Is talking me out of impulse buying, which is definitely something that I definitely know I've had extreme issues with. Okay, so one thing I'm really smart about doing is not buying the one thing I needed to buy. I'm pretty sure I bought oxygen instead of buying anything else. Ah! Okay. This is what happens when you try and tether too hard. I'm just yeeting. I'm yeeting and deleting. All right, get me back there. Get me back there. Holy shit, this was that was off course like you wouldn't believe. I felt the tension in my thighs. I was squeezing the butt cheeks so hard there. I thought I was gonna fly off map and get killed. I'd have to pay up out the nose to be able to afford what I just did there. Anyways, grab the tethers. Having the significant other in my life, though, does help with a lot of impulse buying, I will say. Haha, I remembered what I was talking about. Excellent. Good. That's a first. First of many. Yeah, because I was about to buy, like, a $600 steering wheel from Thrustmaster. I'm like, yeah, I'm getting Gran Turismo 7. I haven't played Gran Turismo since I was a kid. And when I was a kid, I had this shitty little, like, plastic steering wheel, you know, back in the day. Just, like, the best of the best, you know? For PlayStation 1, no doubt. That was pretty awesome. And I haven't played Gran Turismo since the PlayStation 1, nor any racing game other than maybe Need for Speed Shift or the Need for Speed Most Wanted game for the Xbox 360, and I think it was PlayStation 2 as well. So, you know, I'm a racing enthusiast, right? You know, that's the type of people that the steering wheel is targeted towards, and of course I thought, you know, what better thing to do than to, you know, buy a steering wheel, get back into it. Maybe I can learn how to drive shift. I don't know, because that's how you go fast. And of course, it's always good to have someone that's in your life that can tell you, no, it's not a good idea. And she could have just been like, babe, you're stupid. Don't be stupid. But no, she was like, listen, I know you really love, your games. And I understand where you're coming from. You have a lot of enthusiasm. I get it. But is it something you really need? Or maybe we should consider, try to get a better place to live. And I'm like, like really thinking about it. I'm like, And I'm like, So obviously I bought the steering wheel and I'm single now. No, I'm just kidding. So so it's always good. It's always good to have that SO in your life. That's someone that you can look forward to speaking with about the stupid purchase decisions you could possibly have in your life. Wow, we did it. All right, good job, me. We did it, everybody. We got everything. What a great trading run. At least we got a decent amount of crap in here, so that feels pretty good. Don't make stupid purchase decisions. Don't recommend. Not the best of ideas, but at the end of the day, also always have fun. Spend the money. No. To make reasonable choices in your life and have the people there to support them. Other than that, we did pretty good. We made about $1 billion, 2.4 million doubloons, with only a remaining 3.1%, which is a bunch of trash is floating in the air. We lost 250,000 doubloons, but at the end of the day, that don't mean nothing to me. We got some mastery points earned. I'm not entirely sure what that is other than our EXP. Yeah, that's our EXP. Mastery points is our EXP. The most important thing, of course, we got 10 whole LYNX tokens. So we worked that hard just to get 10. So really, we could have just skipped it. But the money, I'll take the money. I'll take the mastery points. Get a little bit of extra EXP in there. Not too shabby.
Morning, Cutter. It's time to begin your workday.
Pretty good. Like, look at that. We're only spending 524,000 a day. We made 2.4 million.
Just wanted to say, I'm impressed with how quick you're picking things up. Not sure what kind of work you've done before, but you're a natural cutter. You probably noticed LYNX doesn't exactly take great care of us. I don't blame them. They don't really have a reason to. Up until about 100 years ago, workers like us would make groups called unions and fight for better wages and safer work and decent hours, that kind of thing. Basically balance things so people don't just get exploited to hell. LYNX was actually key in getting rid of all that. But there's a group of shipbreakers now trying to bring back the idea of a union. Change things for the better. Did you know that LYNX keeps your DNA even if you leave? Or that those hull panels you get 10 credits for are resold for 1,000 apiece? That's the kind of thing they want to change. Anyway, it's all hush-hush, of course, and LYNX sums it out right quick. But I see that you're a good person and a hard worker, and they're gonna use you up and you'll get naught for it. So I hope you don't mind, but I signed you up for the union newsletter. Comes every couple of days. Read them, don't read them, trash them, whatever. Just please don't report me. Just want you to have the info. I was glad someone gave it to me when I was new.
Alright, how does LYNX not know about this? Or they do know about this, and the LYNX Corporation is planning on starting a fake union within the union. Amazing. I don't even know what a union is, because that's what I wrote on my resume. Or I've never been part of one. Hey again, Rook. Just wanted to say I'm impressed how quick you're picking things up. Not sure what kind. Oh, it's just all the same thing she just told me. Excellent. Alright. Thank you for signing up for the Salvage Workers Unite newsletter. We are happy you're here. As a group grows, so does ability to affect positive change for all shipbreakers. As a reminder, the activities of this group are only for authorized members. Please respect the mission and the privacy of your fellow members, and do not share outside the group. Well, then how do you get new people in the group if you're not sharing outside the group? I'm technically an outsider. We wish to improve work conditions and ensure that the voices of shipbreakers are heard and respected. We intend to coordinate with the Stellar Commission to start negotiations with the company around policy changes. Here are the key demands we intend to bring forward. Cancel the debt! The dangerous work of a shipbreaker should not come with crippling debt owed to the company that profits off that work. We demand the debt be cancelled immediately. Workplace safety. While shipbreaking is a dangerous task, there are unnecessary risks involved due to company policies or quotas. We demand improvements that would greatly decrease the risk of injury or death. Investigate contract clause. We demand the shipbreaker contract to be audited by the Stellar Commission to ensure human rights are honored. In particular, the clauses around ownership of the genetic sequences of shipbreakers. Thank you again for joining us. Solidarity is strength, and we are on the path to improve all our lives. I can only imagine this is going to end really terribly given the nature of how LYNX Corporation has been presented so far. You know, also killing me in my sleep multiple times already in this playthrough. So I'm very curious to see how this all turns out. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode, even if it went on a bit of a few tangents. But, hey, it's a lot of fun. And if you like some of that stuff, maybe I'll have some more of it in the future. Most likely the next episode, I'll be talking mainly about the video game and what's going on. But who knows? Maybe other things will come up, and I'll talk about them there. Again, this is kind of an outlet for me to be able to talk to you guys and hang with you guys. So please, feel free to comment, like, subscribe, and talk about whatever. I really don't care. Doesn't matter to me. I'm here to have fun, and that's the number one thing. All right, have a great day. Take it easy.